What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers. Of course, we're gonna keep going every day, but as you can see by the title, we're gonna be talking about Derrick Rose, and talking about Derrick Rose again because I just saw that he's getting his jersey retired, and he has a whole day named after him in Chicago. So we're gonna be looking at the Hall of Fame career of Derrick Rose, or at least I believe he's a Hall of Famer for what he did in a short stint, but it's all opinion based. Stats are up and down, I guess. But in Derrick Rose's first season, he averaged basically 17 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6.5 assists. He showed flashes this season. He was a rookie, and I'm pretty sure he was on the team that beat the Celtics 2 games that series. And Derrick Rose was exciting, and he won Rookie of the Year that season. So it just capped off him being the #1 pick, him being from Chicago, and winning that award for his hometown. It showed he was going to be one of the best for a long time. In his second season, he showed major improvement. He averaged basically 21 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Him still staying on this growing improvement, him being one of the best young point guards in the league. It was just so much to come. And then an interview before this, the end of this season, he was talking about why can't he be the MVP, and he went out there and got his MVP. He averaged 25 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. And Derrick Rose at his peak was this shifty, athletic, explosive guard that really not a lot of guards have been able to accomplish in their careers. But Derrick Rose was his knees were crazy, bro. That sounds kind of ayo, but if you go back and watch Derrick Rose and you see how fast he's jumping, how fast he's moving his body, like the acrobatic layups, the dunks, the crossovers even, come on, bro. You can't say that Derrick Rose wasn't one of a kind. But this was the season where it all went downhill. Got injured his MVP season, which is sad to say. He was never really the same player, but hey, man, it's just sad. Oh man, it's fucking sad. But in the 2011-2012 season, Derrick Rose averaged 22 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 8 assists, playing 39 games. And his MVP season would be the last time he played over 70 games, which is fucking crazy to me. I can't believe it. Well, I'm looking at the stats right now, and I can't believe he hasn't played 70 games since his MVP season. But obviously, the Bulls were growing on losing their best player to injuries, and they couldn't really build this steady foundation. The next season, Derrick Rose averaged 16 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists, 10 games played. The next season, he really started to get healthy. He averaged basically 17.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists, playing 51 games. But we all know that 51 games is not enough to show what you're capable of, bro. But in the 2015-16 season, his last season in Chicago, and he made a playoff. No, the playoff run was last season, 2014-15. We all to see that game winner, him with no emotion shooting that fadeaway 3, and that's iconic, bro. Because they beat LeBron. They was up 2-1, I believe, before LeBron hit the game winner. But 2014-15 Rose was underrated. But in the 2015-16 season, his last season in Chicago, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And nothing really came of this season. As I can remember, I don't remember if they made the playoffs or not, or if they did, they were a first-round exit. And in his first season in New York, in the 2016-17 season, he averaged 18 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 4 assists from being traded there. Played 64 games this season, which is improvement, back-to-back 60-plus games, and he was one and done in New York. I thought he played 2 seasons in New York, but the next season with the Cavs, he wasn't happy. He was thinking about retirement early, and luckily he didn't do that. We got to see some great performances out of Derrick Rose, but he averaged 10 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 1.5 assists for 16 games on the Cavs. And in the 2017-18 season, he averaged the same year, basically, 9 games. He averaged 6 points per game, 0.7 rebounds, and 1 assist. And the season after is when Derrick Rose became an icon to me. He was already an icon before, but This season just proved it. The 2018-19 season, he averaged 18 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. Yes, the assists are not up there, but the performances he was putting up this season were just incredible, because we all know he wasn't the same player, but he was making the jump shot work. He was making the acrobatic layups still. He was fast. We're not fast like Derrick Rose fast, but he was shifty enough to get by you. And this was the season where he dropped a 50-point game performance. And he should have been starting on this team, but they had Jeff Teague. They paid Jeff Teague so much money. We saw that Derrick Rose was playing phenomenal. Jeff Teague wanted Derrick Rose to start over him, but it obviously didn't happen that way, and it wasn't meant to happen that way. But in the 2019-20 season, he had another good season, both 50-plus game seasons. He averaged 18 points per game again, 2.5 rebounds and 5.5 assists. In this Detroit season with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, those boys, and that would be the last time he would average above 18 points per game, which is sad to say. But in the 2020-2021 season, Detroit, he averaged 14 points per game, 2 rebounds and 4 assists. In the same season with the New York Knicks, he averaged 15 points per game, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. He helped them in the playoffs, or helped them will them to the playoffs. He had some great performances in New York his second time around. In the next season, 2021-2022 season, he averaged 12 points per game, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. The stats going down, obviously. The games going down. 30. He only played 35. No, he played 50 games that season. 2020, 2021, 21-22. He played 26. 22-23. He played 27. He averaged 5.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds and 2 assists. This being his second to last season. Played 27 games. And his last season in Memphis, he averaged 8 points per game, 2 rebounds and 3 assists. Only playing 24 games, but hey man, he accomplished so much at a young peak. He didn't even get the fucking peak, which is so sad to say, but we all know how good Derrick Rose was at the moment, or when we look back or we look at his highlights, which I'm playing in this video, you see just how explosive he was, just how good he was. You're pretty sure he dunked on LeBron and Wade. Like, come on, bro. Not a lot of people are doing that, because Wade is one of the best shooting guard shot blockers of all time. But Derrick Rose's accolades speak for themselves. He was the youngest MVP in NBA history at 22. All-Star game 3 times from 2010 to 2012. All-NBA first team in 2011, obviously. Rookie of the Year in 2009, All-Rookie First Team in 2009, a gold medal in 2010 and 2014, and that's about it. But let me know how y'all feel about Derrick Rose, and do y'all think he's a Hall of Famer? I do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all want to see some more, there's a video on the left and the video on the right. Click on them.